Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast for today. Great to be here. Great to be with you in this week before Christmas. I know that things can get a little bit frantic and overwhelming and full on at this time of year. So I'm glad to be able to spend a little bit of time out and just to, hopefully you can join me and just relax and, enjoy the broadcast and absorb the information. The topic today is a little relevant to what's happening at this time of the year. And that is how to clear your life from negative energy in 7 steps. That is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So if you are here, please make sure that you say hi and let me know where you're from so I can say a little cheerio to you. This topic is so relevant right now. I actually saw a girlfriend of mine, Carol Allen. She does like a Vedic astrology. And she was did a little video today on YouTube, on Facebook, which I saw before I got on here. I'm like, no wonder I need to talk about this subject today. So apparently there's astrologically, there's a number of things, like big events happening right now. We are at the end of not just the year, but of the decade. And apparently there is an eclipse happening on Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas Day, which can bring some very, misaligned energy and can have some effects on the weather. So apparently everyone's like, well, yeah, of course the weather is crazy. But no, even in California, where it's supposed to normally be, sunny on a Christmas Day, it's actually, they've predicted rain. So yeah, it's a lot of crazy stuff happening. And of course it's, frantic and it's, we've got family and a whole bunch of stuff going on. And so it's not just the time of year, but it's also, energetically what's happening on the planet. So I think that this is going to be a great topic to cover today. So yes, if you're here, make sure you say hi. If there's something that, that aligns with you or that you agree with, just hit the little like button or the heart button there. And, make sure that you, and I encourage you to share the video. If you do that, it's going to share to your timeline, so it's easier for you to find. Again, we both get some positive Facebook juju from it, and it's all smiles, all teeth, and we're all helping each other out, which is all cool. So let me say some hellos before I get into the broadcast today. I'm a little croaky. I've just got over the flu. Very luckily, I got the flu last Wednesday and was feeling pretty good by Monday. So after some rest and my little formula, if anyone is suffering out there from the flu or some kind of bug, probiotics, all of our illnesses and diseases actually come from our gut. And so I have, I do these mega doses of probiotics that kills any of the germs that's in there. So I actually recovered pretty quickly compared to a lot of my friends. So probiotics is what I highly recommend. I can see Bindi Sarin is here. Hi, Bindi. Good to see you, darling. Lisa Sanisbeth, I think, from the Gold Coast. Hi, Lisa. Suzanne Gray from California. Hello, darling. I can see Leslie's here. Bette Wilder. Great to see you here as well. Tajana, I think, is from Germany. Oh, it's 11 p.m. there. Wow. Well, thank you for staying up, and I'm glad I'm giving you some great information to help you go to sleep with. Mina from Adelaide. Good to see you here, darling. And Helena Groves from Lancashire in the UK. Good to see you back, Helena. Bob Dobbin. Hi, Bob, from Atlanta, Georgia. And Planet Earth. Good to see you here, mate. Katrin from Estonia. Yeah, like I've heard that there's some wild weather happening up in Europe as well, so it's crazy. Sheila Stone from Australia. Hi, Sheila. How are you? Tiana Ransom. Hi, Tiana. From Dallas, good to see you here. Annette Aparte from, I don't know where you're from, but happy holidays to you as well, sweetie. Alison Musto from London. Hi, Alison. Lucy Melendez from New York City. Hello. I've got Misha Hendricks here as well. Hi, Michelle Kilsar, I think it is. Melanie Hoffner from Cold, Iowa. Yes, I know we have no sunshine. I have nothing to complain about here in California, so I bet it's much colder over there. David, I think it is, from the UK. Hello, how are you? Suski, I think it is, from Finland. Hi, Suski. Gerda, hello, darling, how are you? Aisha, from Rydal in Georgia. Hello. Ketty Garcia from the Grand Rapids. Hello, darling. How are you? And I've got Annette Paredes from Los Angeles. Wonderful. Great to see you all here. So as I was saying, it's a crazy time of year. We can be very influenced by negative energies, things that are around us, and heavily influenced by that. And like I said, we've got this added thing of astrologically what's happening on the planet right now. So it's really important for us to do some self-care, some self-awareness, and making sure that we are really taking responsibility for our energy, and figuring out, what is happening there. So the first tip I'm going to share with you today on how we can clear negative energy is, first of all, just identify or become aware if you are an empath or if you have empathic tendencies or abilities. Empaths are people that can very easily take on other people's energies. This is a great gift to have, because it means that you can really tune into how somebody else is feeling. It gives you this, heightened sensitive of empathy, which is really needed on the planet right now, which is great. But the challenge with it is that if you're unaware that this is something that you have, or unaware that this is an ability that you take with you, that sometimes you can be taking on other people's energies and not realizing that it's not your own. One of the most important questions you can ask yourself, if this is, if you find out that you are an empath, and you can definitely, do some research online to find out, the abilities of an empath and see if it's something that's, related to you. But the number one question you can ask yourself is that when you're feeling something strange that's out of whack for you, or maybe, negative energy, just ask, is this mine? If we ask, is this mine, and then sort of check in, you can understand whether it's yours or whether you're actually absorbing that from somebody else. So do a little bit of research and see if that's something that applies to you. Tip number 2 is to really pinpoint the source and take action. With this, it's, if it's something that's coming up consistently and it's something that's hard to shake, then you want to absolutely be taking action action for that. So let's just say that you're feeling negative energy because of the events that are around you, and even though you may know that, okay, I know that I don't want to take it personally, but when this person says this, it really upsets me. Or we go, look, I know that they may be operating from their limiting beliefs, but this is, but I can't get past this, and this is really starting to affect me. And that's when you really want to start to take action. Talk to a professional, do some tapping, confide in a friend, do something where you can try to talk it out and get some, assistance and maybe an outside perspective on how you can, rise above, or how you can deal with this as well. So it's really important that you don't keep suffering alone, that you pinpoint where that is, and then take some kind of action to be able to release it, to be able to share it, or be able to get some help for it as well. Okay, very, very important. Okay, so number 3 is to connect with your breath. Now, this is the reason we connect with our breath, is because what we want to do is be able to center our whole system so that we can get to a grounded place. And then from there, we can really help to identify whether this is ours or not, and really start to get from a very a place where we're not caught up in it, where we're sort of in a grounded place where we can decide, well, how we're going to respond, or what we're going to do, or what action we're going to take. So how I do this is that I will close my eyes. I take at least 3 deep, long, slow breaths. And I sometimes take more. It depends on how frantic I am at the time. But I know what I visualized is a light just behind my belly button, sort of in the middle of my body, and I know that that's the center of my body. So I just place my hand just on that place and just close my eyes and breathe. And what I visualize is, as I'm breathing in, that light is getting brighter, and then as I exhale, it's getting dimmer, and then it's getting brighter, and then it's getting dimmer. So all I'm doing is focusing on one thing. So my cortisol levels are going down. I'm starting to, quiet down the parasympathetic nervous system. I'm starting, my breathing is starting to regulate, heart rate is going down, and my energy and everything is coming back to center. And it's from this place where I'm grounded and centered that I can actually make a good choice as to how I'm going to move forward or what I'm going to do about the negative energy that I'm taking on in that moment. Okay, so I highly, highly recommend that. And you can use it not just to release negative energy, but you could do that for a whole bunch of different things, especially if, I don't know if you guys have seen the video of SNL, Saturday Night Live. There's a little parody that was on last weekend with what's his name? Jason, the guy that plays Jason Bourne. I'm completely spaced on his name right now. And one of the other actresses, and they're talking about how it's the best Christmas ever. But then, it shoots to the kids screaming and the family fighting and all of that. And I'm just like, yeah. So you could really just, excuse yourself for a couple of minutes, go up in the bedroom, do a nice little centering exercise, and then you're back to normal. And you're releasing all that negative energy. Okay, so tip number four is to surround yourself with positive-minded people. Now, obviously this is a time of the year that may not be, possible to do all the time. But, when I look at, the friends that I have here and this is the time of year, I'm actually not going back to Australia this year. I'm staying here in the US. And so this year I get to spend Christmas with my soul family, not my real family, my biological family. And so I'm so grateful for the fact that I have intentionally, cultivated some friendships and connections in my life of people that I really feel are, positive, that are doing something of meaning, that I can have, a great conversation with. And so, I really encourage you in 2020, if this is something that you feel like you could, add more people into your circles who are, more of this sphere, then I encourage you to really seek that out and do that. One way that you can do that is, going into positive-minded groups online and or even going to meetup.com and joining some groups that are, have that kind of a philosophy. And it really helps to be able to do that. Even seeking out, neighbors or people that live close to you that have a very similar, viewpoint than you, or that, that you find are really positive and uplifting. It makes a massive, massive difference when you do that. Okay. All right. Let me do a few check-ins while I'm here, everyone. Okay. So I've got Anna Kubiak from Belgium. Hi, Anna. How are you? Melanie Hoffner. Oh, Matt Damon. Thank you very much. Perfect. I knew someone was going to know that name for me. That was great. Bob Drummond is going, is that at the third chakra location? So it's between, it's actually between the sacral and the second one. But so it's kind of like behind the second one, but in the middle of your body is where I imagine that light. That's the center of our body. I've got Shelley Smith here from New Zealand. Hello, darling. How are you? Shirley Livingston, hi. I just took on negative energy from a text. Yes, okay, so I'm going to go through some extra points now on how we can make sure that we deflect that kind of stuff. Because, when it comes to, friends or family or anyone that sometimes, we can be going along well, but there's just one little thing is going to, throw us off kilter. So let me keep continuing and I'll share some more tips with you as well. Okay, so tip number 5 is to actually enhance your abilities. So what that means is really taking care. If you are someone who is easily affected, someone who's more empathic, if you have this ability, and especially if you do this kind of work and you're doing this kind of information, you start to understand that people are really all operating from their limiting beliefs, from their own programs. And we know that we shouldn't take it personally, but sometimes it just can't be helped. So do whatever it is that you can to self-care yourself, to replenish your cup. Maybe it's, you're making a practice of meditating every day. Maybe you're doing yoga a few times a week. Maybe you make a point, if you're sitting at a desk the whole time and you've got all these emails and crazy stuff that's going on in your workspace, then make a point of getting up and going for a walk. Apparently sitting is the new smoking. But the more that we can keep our bodies moving and or getting into that centering, whatever it is that we need to do, make sure that you make a point, especially when you can feel yourself getting to the point where things are starting to get overwhelming or out of control. And you drop in to do one of these kind of activities, it really helps you get back to your good self. Okay. All right. So that was number 5. Number 6 is obviously which we talk a lot about, is to practice gratitude. So when you're practicing gratitude, you are purposely and intentionally shifting your energy and shifting your frequency from that of a lower frequency into that of a higher frequency. And I know that I've spoken about this before, but remember the frequency that we send out into the world or out into the universe is our emotions. That is our frequency. So when we are stuck in lower frequency emotions, lower energetic emotions, things like frustration and helplessness and anger and getting reactive and all of that, that's lower frequency. And when we stay there, and that's the energy that we're giving out, we're only attracting more of those kind of things to us. So we need to intentionally get into these higher frequency emotions. Gratitude is definitely the easiest, fastest, most effective way to be able to do that. And it just takes a little bit of a shift. Like I said, if you have to physically make a move, and if you're going out for a walk, drop into your gratefuls when you do that. Or when you're in a situation and something's coming up and you can kind of feel yourself getting dragged, into a negative energy, just stop. Just stop for a moment and go, okay, look for something you can be grateful for in that moment. Now, another phrase that you can use, and a girlfriend gave this to me, Lisa Thomas, amazing energy healer, fantastic light worker, beautiful woman. This is the phrase that I encourage you to use, especially when you're feeling this negative energy coming in, or especially if you're feeling yourself beating yourself up or going into this spiral of, bad judgment or whatever that is. What you say is cancel, cancel, cancel. Only love exists here. So I'll just repeat that. It says cancel, cancel, cancel. Only love exists here. Now, there's a couple of things that are happening here. Number 1, that's a pattern interrupt. So as you're starting to go through this default or into this little, like this spiraling negative thoughts, it kind of interrupts that pattern. And it gives you the opportunity to go, okay, well, if only love lives here, what am I choosing to focus on? So it really helps you to kind of shift that whole thing that's happening there, right? Okay, so then number 7, which is the final tip for today, is to take ownership. And I want to share a little quote here that we've written here from the Dalai Lama. And the quote says, when you think everything is someone else's fault, you will suffer a lot. When you realize that everything springs only from yourself, then you will learn both peace and joy. So when we say take ownership, when I'm talking about this, for me, it's like, when someone triggers me or something happens and I get this like reaction to it, my question is never, why did they do this to me? Why are they making me feel like this? When they wrote that, it really hurt me. My question is, why am I hurt? Why do I have this? Why is that upsetting me? And it gives me an opportunity to go in and go, okay, well, where's this coming from? And again, you ask the question, well, is this mine? Is this my energy? Is this what I'm feeling? Or am I reacting from something else around me? And then you go, well, if this is mine, like, where is this coming from? Why is this triggering me? And it really gives you an opportunity to kind of look within and go, okay. Because if we continue to go through life and we're just being affected and reactive and, completely, surrounded by people that are, sending us off all the time, then when we put the responsibility or the blame outside of us, we lose all power to do anything about it. Remember, the things that we have control over are the way we think, the way we see an event, how long we, how we choose to respond or react to it, and how long we allow it to affect us moving forward. These are the things that we get dominion over, that we get to, to affect. So regardless of what's happening with the other party, if we can really step into that place of empowerment, and really look at how we are responding and take ownership for our reactions and our responses, then it really helps us to live at a much higher frequency as well. So what do you think about that? If you have any comments or any questions, make sure you put them in the comment box. And if you agree, make sure you click that little button there as well and see if that's something that kind of really resonates with you. So let me see if we've got some more comments coming in. I've got Sheila going, meditation works well for her. Sometimes I have a hard time meditating until I know how I'm going to respond to the negative energy. Yeah, and meditation, it's such a cure-all to everything. It centers your energy. It gives you time to think about your response. It helps you to connect to the greater consciousness for insight and guidance. And it also helps you connect to God and connect to the oneness of everything, and realizing really everything comes from love. Everything is love. And so when we understand that, it makes it easier for us to be able to shift our complete energy while we're here. Let's see what else we've got here. Patricia, hello Patricia, how are you, darling? She's going, it's a great topic that works in so many areas, even with children. Exactly. So when they're not very happy, to bring them back to a point where they can understand. Yeah. In the children's program that I've created with my colleague Debbie, we have this whole section on getting kids to help regulate their emotions, and that is part of the process that they go through. So yeah, you're right, Patricia. Shanda Shapcott, how are you, darling? She goes, hi, wishing everyone a good Christmas. Very good information on controlling our reaction to negative thoughts and situations. I'm grateful for the information. Well, I'm grateful that you're here, darling. Thank you. Let's see. Good evening from Suriname. I don't know where that is, darling, but that's Leroy. Hi, Leroy. Good to see you, my friend. Can give someone a genuine smile. You can't do it in anger. I like that. I do really like that. And because when you go, okay, I'm having a crappy day, but then you notice that there's another human being in your energy, just take a moment out and just acknowledge them and smile. That's such a beautiful, positive, energetic exchange. I love that. Lance Taylor. Hello, Lance. Greetings from Houston, Texas. Getting the last bit, but enjoyable. Yeah, so you'll be able to watch the replay because it'll be saved up here. It'd be great. So yes, there were 7 steps, Karen. So you can go back and replay that. Or what you can do is just share the video. It'll save it to your page. And you can go and watch it anytime you like, darling. Okay. So I know that my team are going to be putting a little link here. I always have some kind of little gift or giveaway or something here. What I'd like to do is encourage you to take our chakra healing quiz. So when it comes to and I know someone before was talking about where is that energy chakra where the center of our body is. We have 7 energy centers or chakras throughout our body, and sometimes, especially when, like I said, all the stuff that's happening right now, we can completely come out of alignment. So by doing the quiz, it really helps you to understand, if any, which of your chakras are out of alignment, and then what you can do to be able to get back into alignment again, because we really want this channel to be in alignment, so that we've got the chi that is flowing really easily. So again, we're not sort of at the whim of everything that's going around. So I encourage you to click on the link, take the quiz, and figure out where energetically where you are right now and what you can do about it. Okay, Jennifer Barker, hi. She goes, thank you, perfect timing. Having horrible anxiety and prayed God for help to help me through it. So you are one of the blessings you sent. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm really glad that the information was super helpful for you today. Fantastic. Let's see. Donna Griff. Hi, Donna. She's saying she learned TM, which is Transcendental Meditation, years ago. It's helped me many times, meditating morning and night. And if you don't have a meditation practice, I highly recommend that maybe that could be one of your things that you commit to doing in 2020, about doing that as well. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back on Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure that you tune back in then with another great topic to share. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, whatever it is that you're doing right now. And I look forward to chatting to you all on Friday. All right. Thanks, everyone. and bye for now.